Hi, my name's Mariah, and as you can probably tell from the title of this video, I recently got back from a holiday in Japan, and I thought I would show you a haul on the art supplies and stationery that I bought whilst I was there. Those first clips were from a place called UArts in Osaka, and it was the first store I went to, so I was a little more conservative with buying things. I knew I was going to be going to Sekaido in Tokyo, which is a huge art store, so I was holding off. This store was super cute. It was an art supply store, but also had like cat products, like a lot of stationery to do with cats, and it was really cute. I loved walking around it. So as I said, I only got a few things from this store. So the first things that I got were the Mono Zero erasers, and they're really tiny little kind of mechanical pen erasers. I don't know, clicky erasers, I don't know how to explain them. These are really tiny, and I don't think I got them last time I was in Japan, so I did want to get some. And then I also got the refills for them as well. Other than that, I just got these 3 green gel pens. I only got them because I was feeling a little creatively inspired and wanted to put a bit of pop of colour into a drawing that I had in my mind. Never ended up doing the drawing, never ended up using the pens, but I'm sure I'll use them eventually, so that's alright. The next store was in Okayama, which I visited on my way back from going to Hiroshima. This store was called AMS, and it was really lovely in there. From this store, I got a few granulating watercolours from the brand Harmonia. I hadn't heard of this brand or seen it before, and it just really interested me, so I think I got about 5 colours here, and I think I might have gotten one from another store later on, but let me know if you'd like to see them swatched or trialled, because I'm really excited to try them out. I can't exactly remember how much these were. I think they were $9 or $10 each, and I'm not sure if there would be much like discrepancy in the prices between a smaller art store like this and one like Sekaido in Tokyo. And that's why I didn't buy a whole heap before I did go to Sekaido. For all I know, I could have been paying more there, but I was a bit hesitant to make big purchases just yet. The next place was this gorgeous little gallery that we stumbled upon in Kyoto. It was a complete accident that we stumbled upon there, but it was full of artwork from a heap of local artists, like little clay sculptures and jewellery and paintings, and I absolutely love looking around it. I only ended up buying this little notebook from there, but I wish I could have found more places like this or known what to look up to find more places like this, because I just absolutely love looking around it. It was amazing, and the artwork there was so cute. I would 100% recommend that anyone else who finds himself in Kyoto goes and visits this place, because yeah, I absolutely loved it. The next place in Kyoto was a art store called Gasendo, and they had a lot of pigments, as you can see here. They also had this packet of Holbein watercolours. It was like 100 and something different paints. It cost a heap of money, but look how gorgeous all these little different artworks on each tube was. I wanted it so bad, but I already have so many watercolours and I couldn't justify it. It was super expensive as well, but I just had to share that. Now, as I've mentioned before, Sekaido is the huge art store in Tokyo, and we hadn't gone there yet, but Sekaido doesn't sell Copics. They sell another brand, I can't remember what, and so this store I did note had a lot of Copics available, which are much cheaper in Japan than they are in Australia. I didn't end up getting any because I don't really use Copics, but if you are someone who does and you're wanting to buy some, this store would be a great place. They had so many available. I only got a few little knickknacks from this store, so starting off is I got a masking pen. I don't know if I've bought one of these before, but I know I haven't used one before, and I thought it'd be something useful to try out. And then I also got this Copic paper. I didn't need it, it was just impulsive. I don't know what I would use it for, but it was there and I kind of wanted it, so I got it. It also wasn't very expensive, it was like $6 or so. From there I also just got some tape to tape down like my watercolour when I do paintings, and then I got this sharpener, which I'm super excited about. I don't know if these are like something you can just get at your local, but it's got 5 different settings to be able to adjust how sharp or like how much of a point it gets sharpens a pencil to, and I thought that was really cool, so I got one of them for myself. I think this store might have also had a little gallery above it, but I couldn't quite understand the signage, or I wasn't certain, so I was too scared to go up the stairs in case I wasn't allowed to. And lastly, I got 2 tubes of watercolour from this store. One of them was another one of the granulating watercolours from that Harmonia brand, and then the other one in my hand here now is Moon Glow by Daniel Smith. This was just a colour that I was running low on already, and I think it was only like $1 or 2 cheap to get in Japan, but there's something about spending foreign currency that just feels easier than spending local currency, so I was happy to buy a tube whilst I was there. My final stop in Kyoto was at Loft. This is a bit of a chain store, so they've got stores in other cities as well. Loft is a multi-level store, and it's kind of a bit of a general store, I guess, but they did have floors dedicated just to stationery and art supplies, so I was in heaven. It was amazing. Loft was more so where a lot of the stationery part of this art supply haul came in, because mostly I did seem to get art supplies. I didn't really go shopping for stationery, but there was some really cute stuff there that I just couldn't resist picking up. Loft was also a tax-free store, so if you were visiting Japan and you spent more than 5,000 yen whilst there, you get things tax-free, but you're not allowed to open the packaging until you've left the country. I've been in a pretty creative slump for months now, but the day that we went to Loft, or well, the morning of, something just happened and I started really wanting to draw. So whilst I was there, I bought just a cheap little sketchbook to do a few drawings in, and I just flipped through it then. I like that little sketchbook because it's quite nice and I don't feel precious about it. I also bought myself a Staedtler mechanical pencil. This is a 0.5. It says HB on the screen there, but I actually put 2B leads in there because I prefer them. And then I also got a mechanical pencil with erasable blue lead. I've got these already. I got them last time I was in Japan. I do prefer to do an underdrawing sometimes before I go over with grey lead, so I got myself them, and I think in a few different colours that you'll see in just a moment. So I bought these textures because well, firstly they were really cheap. They were like $1 each or like 100 yen each. But I really like when people do just like a real simple background colour in their sketchbook spreads. So I bought a few of them. I actually found that I liked the testers more because the testers were more used, so they felt more like a brush tip, where they're more of a bullet nib kind of now when they're brand new. But here I was just showing kind of what I meant by what I bought them for. Didn't end up using them for that, but I'm sure I will eventually, so there's something that I'm still happy to have bought. Next up, I have the other mechanical pencils that I got in erasable coloured lead. So I think there were more colours as well. These were just the ones that I got. And then I also did pick up some lead refills for each of the colours as well. I'm pretty sure I actually have these refills in my art desk at the moment, but I guess there's nothing wrong with getting a few more, and I'll eventually hopefully use them up. Just like lead refills, I'm more than happy to always have extra erasers on hand, so I got this eraser. Something about this brand, so it's Tombow, and then I don't know if their range is like the mono range, but something about it, just I really like the look of it, and so I definitely gravitated towards getting a few of their products just because of that. I then also have some more lead refills just to stock up on them. I normally just gravitate only towards 2B, so I'm not sure why I got HB ones. But honestly, it's like a collector's thing. I just wanted to get all the different brands and packets of lead, and I bought them basically on whether or not I thought they looked pretty in their little packets or not. I also, whilst in Japan, wanted to, I don't know why I decided I wanted to find like the ultimate highlighter, and I didn't succeed. I saw some really interesting highlighters, some interesting designs, but none of them were really what I wanted. I wanted like a really vibrant highlighter, and I found a lot of pastel highlighters there. But I got these two, and they're more so for me to use at work. I then also got some of the multicoloured lead pencils, so that's these ones here, and they've both got different colour stories on them, but I just thought that'd be fun to try drawing with them, and they kind of take some control out of your capacity to choose what colours you're drawing with, so I thought that would be interesting practice to try out. Next up, I got a couple of washi tapes that I thought were super cute whilst I was there. One is a rhino and one has shoe bills on it. I use these for packing orders, and the ones that I've bought in Australia just haven't been very good quality compared to the ones that I got when I was in Japan last time, so I definitely want to stock up, and just thought those designs there were pretty cute. Then I actually got some stickers. I'm always really precious with stickers and scared to use them, so the plan is to use these. But anything with budgies, rhinos, lemurs or shoe bills on them, just, I don't know why, I just gravitate towards it. So I got these stickers because they've got budgies on them. And then we also got some one-piece stickers for my husband. And then I got these little tabs for bookmarking books. And the birds are so cute, I can't get over them, and the other ones are nice and simple, and I just like the design. I got them for academic books for my studies and whatnot to mark. And then these little tickets that I wanted to keep that I put in this book to keep them safe. But then I guess I got this other sketchbook. Honestly, I don't even remember buying this sketchbook, but I guess that I did. The next stop and the final stop was Sekaido, so this is in Tokyo. This store is amazing, and I've dreamt about it since I went there back in 2019. Here is the floor guide so you can see it. I mainly went from floors 1 to 3. I went to Sekaido twice, so what I bought is a bit jumbled up in all the bags, but shout out to my husband for being the most amazing shopping partner and holding the basket for me. He made it such an enjoyable experience because I didn't have to hold my basket full of all the supplies I was getting, and he definitely encouraged me to get whatever I wanted. So this was a big impulsive shop with all these acrylic gouaches, but we'll get to them in a second and kind of pick out the other things first. So the first thing was another masking fluid. So this one, I just thought the applicator looked interesting. I don't exactly know how it works. I think it's like a needle applicator, and I thought that would be really useful, so I bought one of them for myself. I also got myself a kneaded eraser. I think I realised that there is one particular brand of kneaded eraser that I like now, so I don't know how much I'll use that, but it's good to have them on hand in case I lose the others. And then I got a watercolour. This is the colour sepia, a Holbein one, and then a gouache, just a regular Holbein gouache, and that's the colour pink. So that's the colour that I wanted to put in my gouache palette that I made a few years ago, and I left a gap for it, but I never bought the pink colour that I wanted. So here it is, so I'll have to top that up and hopefully use my gouache palette again soon. Now this little tube next to all the gouaches of Holbein palette cleaner caught my eye. It was super cheap and I have no clue how it works or what it does. Well, I guess it's a palette cleaner, but I just picked it up because it interested me. And then here are some more watercolours. Look, I really didn't need any of these art supplies, but I really didn't need more watercolours, I just wanted them. They are a lot cheaper in Japan when buying Holbein than they are in Australia. I think they're like probably more than half the price, but all these colours are colours that I don't have, and I was really inspired by a few artists on Instagram who use some really kind of muted earthy colours, and so that's why I got these colours in particular. They just inspired me and I wanted to add them to my palette. Acrylic gouache isn't a medium that's ever really drawn me in, but whilst I was on the Shinkansen from Kyoto to Tokyo, I was scrolling Instagram and just went down a bit of a rabbit hole of acrylic gouache, and as I said, this was a bit impulsive, but I decided to buy a whole heap of acrylic gouache. Now I could have bought a set that probably would have been a little bit cheaper of multiple colours, as in like 12, 24 or 36. They didn't actually have any of the colours that were really drawing me in, so most of these colours weren't in any of the sets, and so whilst I did get the little primary set there, I then selected all these other colours, and I think I almost got every damn colour they've got. So next up I got a few different pencils, and this was on the second floor. So how I shopped is I looked at floor 1, I looked at floor 2, and then I started shopping at floor 3 because you've got to pay on every separate floor, and then I worked my way back down. So then I shopped at floor 2 and then I shopped at floor 1. So here I got some coloured pencils. These are the Faber-Castell Polychromos. These are actually cheaper to buy in Australia than they are in Japan, but as I said earlier, it was easier to spend money when it was in a foreign currency than it was when it's in my own local currency, so I got them because I wanted them. I also got another mechanical pencil, as you just saw, and then I got these multi-lead coloured pencils. So I got some from Loft, and then I got these ones. So these ones were like, I think, cheaper than 100 yen, so like $1 or less. The cost of a lot of products were also going up. There were notices around, so a lot of the things that I got were, it said 10 to 20% off, so I don't know if that was of the original price or of the new price, but they hadn't gone up yet, so I don't really know. Anyway, this next bag is a mix of things that I got the first day and the second day. I just put them all in this bag for when I packed my suitcase, because this is all of the paper products that I got, so like the drawing pads and whatnot. I had no plan for any papers or drawing pads that I wanted. I knew I did want to get myself some, but I actually had no plans of like any brands or anything that I wanted, so I just kind of got what I was inspired by at the time. I really like this postcard size paper. I think these are actual postcards, so they've got like the kind of stamp space and all that on the back of them, but the front side is fine for painting on. And then I got this little sketchbook that I was really excited for. I really like the size of it, and I'm curious to see how it takes like a wash or two of watercolour or gouache. Next up, I got these packets of toned paper. I originally just wanted this colour here. That's kind of what I was looking for, was toned paper, and I couldn't actually find that much of it. So I got this colour here, and then they also had this grey and the green as well. I think they also had kind of a denim blue that I didn't end up getting, but I got those three. Then I have some more watercolour paper. This one, I don't know why I got it. I can't make up a reason. But as you can see, I was very inspired by that kind of size of paper. And then I just had to get these. So these have like a little stamp on the back, but the front is plain, and these are these tiny little cutouts of watercolor paper, and I just thought it'd be really cute to paint something on them. I have no clue what, but I thought it'd be cute to do some sort of little like collection of something. Next up, I got another one of these little sketchbooks like the one that I got at Loft. This one was different. Its paper was much thinner and it wasn't like a bright white. So this other one, so you can see on the left the one that I got from Loft, and the one on the right is the one that I got at Sekaido. This one wasn't for me. I guess being around all the art supplies might have inspired my husband, and he wanted his own little sketchbook that he didn't have to feel precious about, so we got him that. Lastly, for papers and sketchbooks was this spiral bound sketchbook. It's not really that big, it's small in A4, and I really firstly liked the colour of the sketchbook and the vibe, but I also didn't mind the feel of the paper, so I'm really excited to try that out and see how I find it. So this stuff here is stuff that I bought on the first floor on the first day, and so the first floor had a lot more kind of stationery, stickers, stamps, pens, pencils and whatnot, and so I didn't get as much on this floor. The third floor is where I definitely spend most of my money, but I get a few things here. The first up being this liquid glue pen, which I actually bought because I bought like a 3D puzzle from a Studio Ghibli store, and I just wanted to get a glue pen in case I needed to glue parts of it together to keep it all together. And then I bought some more washi tape. There is another pink one that I took out whilst I was in Japan to tape all these bags up so they were safe whilst they were in my luggage. Looking back though, I do kind of wish that I had gotten a bit more washi tape while I was there, because I feel like I will go through these pretty fast and they are pretty small rolls. But other than that, I did just get a couple other things on this level. So I got another one of the glue pens, well not a glue pen but kind of like a bigger version of it. I just got them both because I didn't really know the difference. I'm assuming it's just kind of the applicator. And then I also got these 3 dies, like die stamps, whatever they're called, because I got a few little cute stamps in some of those capsule machines, and they didn't come with dye in them. Is dye the right word? Ink. They didn't come with ink, so I had to get some to be able to use them. So all these things here are things that I got on my second trip back to Sekaido. So I got some more erasers, and then I topped up on a few gouaches. So these are regular gouache by Holbein, and then in this one, I'm not sure, more regular gouache by Holbein. I did a little research and picked out some colours that I wanted that I don't have. Again, a lot of these are convenience colours. And there are just these 3 more acrylic gouaches. I just got these colours because I feel like they filled out some gaps in the colours I'd already gotten, or they were kind of like interesting to me for whatever was inspiring me in that moment. Then I went down back to the second floor and got just a few kind of like drawing, sketching supplies. So these are a lot of refills for erasers and whatnot. I'm hoping that I got the right ones, and like mechanical pencils and leads. I got a lot of this because my husband wanted some, and then because I was getting him some, I just decided to get myself some more. And that wraps up everything that I got whilst in Japan when it comes to art supplies and stationery. So if you guys watched all this, thank you so much for sticking through with me and spending some time with me. If you do have any questions or want to see anything swatched or any reviews on anything I did get, just let me know and I'm more than happy to do that. If you would like to see my video from 2019 when I went to Japan as well, that will be linked down below and on the screen. If you guys do want to see anything more from me, you're more than welcome to subscribe, and my Instagram is also linked down below as well. Overall, getting art supplies and stationery in Japan is well worth it, especially if you are getting Japanese brands, because they are so much cheaper over there than they are in Australia. If you're from Australia, I'm not sure about the prices in other countries, but they were like at least half the price when I was getting things like Holbein. Now I am left with the task of figuring out where and how I'm going to store and organise all my new art supplies on top of everything I already have. So I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.